This is also the thing that makes the car very special to me, because I learned a lot during the hours of repairing and modifying. Well, developed myself. Yeah, I'm Daniel, 43 years old, from Germany, and I drive and own this Defender since 2008. I bought it like a reward for my accomplished studies. Yes, and since then I built it up part by part. About the Defender 110 SE, it's with a 2.4 liter turbo diesel engine, and in 2012 I bought it with 28,000 kilometers, and since then I use it for my new hobby, the offroading, greenlaning, you call it in UK. And finally I named it Leopold, like a straight proper name. Before the Defender I owned several Audis, so basically normal cars, they were stock. And that's how the Defender was in the beginning. It was really stock. With the first owner only put in a sports steering wheel, and now over time I modified it on my own. The main reason why I bought Range Rover Defender is that I was sick of going to garage for minor repairs like changing bulbs. I wanted to be able to repair it on my own. And also at this time I had a hobby called geocaching. So it's sort of stash hunting. And the Audi I owned at this time wasn't suitable for this hobby, especially if you wanted to drive some green lanes to avoid walking. I searched for a suitable vehicle and compared several cars like a G-Wagon, Jeeps, even a Hummer Type 1, and also the Defender, and finally the decision fell on a Defender. Most of the time I'm lucky with it, but there are also these special faults of English engineering, like putting together steel and aluminium and resulting rust and corrosion of this special symbiotics. During the time I modified it a lot. In the beginning as a stock it had about 122 horsepower, and in the meantime it has, after change of the mapping, it has about 160 horsepower and more than 400 newton meters as torque. Started up with adding some small parts like light guards or differential guards, and after a while I decided to also add custom-made external roll cage, some parts like a personal computer for navigation, CB radio for green laning and to communicate with others. I changed the vehicle stock radio, yes, and did modifications for sleeping in the car, but also with a restriction that is also usable for transporting daily things like your shopping or your bicycle or even normal things. I also changed other things which make the car safer, especially at night, because the stock headlights are very low beam. The new ones are LED headlights with whom see much better at night. I use the car as a normal car on a normal day. I drive to work, I drive for shopping, I drive also for to adventures like visiting the vicinity of my hometown or going to the United Kingdom for greenlaning, for example. And here with this hobby I met a lot of new people, very good, nice people, and yes, it's much fun using this car. Like I said, I added some features like new LED headlights. I also, when it got broken, added a lockable differential on the rear axle. It's locked by air pressure. I also added 5.4 tons winch, and also, like you can see, a roof tent, sport seats for more comfort during driving, and some electronic features you'll need during a drive, like a converter from 12 volts to 230 volts, fast built-in solution for a compressor, cool box, and more. The biggest difficulties I have is rust. Like I mentioned before, it's English engineering and it's not galvanized or something like that. It's just metal and painted, so it will rust if it gets into contact with water. Like in winter times, then the streets are salted or something like that. It's a very hard time for the Defender, and there I avoid driving it. Getting parts, it's really easy, especially if I order it here in the UK. The price is only about a quarter of the German prices if I order it here in England. So it's quite easy to get parts as long as they are on stock. The purpose of the car is, in the beginning it was my daily car. Meanwhile, I own another Audi. Yeah, back to the habits. And in the meantime, I use the Defender only for driving around with my son or traveling or geocaching. In the beginning, I hadn't a plan. I bought it, recognized what I had to change to have more fun. In the meantime, I bought and built in several things which were totally unnecessary. But I also built in things like the rear locker, which make very much sense driving off-road. My driving experience with the Defender compared to a normal car, you can't compare it in a normal way, because the Defender is made for driving off-road, for doing hard work on fields and so on. You won't go fast on regular roads. Maximum speed of the Defender is about 130 kilometers per hour but then it's very uncomfortable. The main time I'm driving about 100 to 110 kilometers per hour. But biggest benefit is that you can go anywhere, not only on paved roads, you can go through every field. My biggest achievement on the car is that I developed myself, especially in repairs and modification. I never learned the job of a mechanic, but during the time I learned a lot how to change a door lock or to change a differential locker or like that. That's all learning by doing. This is also the thing that makes the car very special to me, because I learned a lot during the hours of repairing and modifying, and in the meantime I'm aware that I could travel nearly everywhere. In Germany we have a strong environmental movement, so they are very critical. During travels, a lot of people show thumbs up, so they are happy with my car, I think, and so I am. I always use it for trips, especially on holidays. My biggest trips were off-road travels to England, Wales, especially here Wales, and I also visited the Lake District and the Peak District. I also went to France, Belgium, Austria, Czech Republic, Poland, Italy, Croatia, and Slovenia. Every country I went minimum twice. Some countries I traveled more often, like England. So the top speed, I already said something. Normally it's about 130 kilometers, but I managed to drive it with 155 kilometers per hour, but it's not that comfortable. Funny said, interesting stories. During off-roading, sometimes situations happen, like others got stuck or during our journey through the Alps, one mate nearly run down a mountain. So the 5.4 tons winch rescued him from rolling down a mountain, and probably he would died rolling down the mountain. So I rescued people's life. On the other hand, I have a lot of stress with reliability of the vehicle, especially of broken wires of the ignition system. So I had to change wires during a holiday trip. A broken transfer shaft I had. Luckily it was at home, so I can go to a garage. And you lose a lot of time in repairing during holidays. Like it was these days when I was searching for a rappelling noise. Sometimes it's there, sometimes it's not, so always a surprise. No, I don't really go to car shows. I meet with our friends, especially there are some Facebook groups or internet forums, internet groups. We meet, we do tours together, especially offroading, greenlaning tours, as long as it's legal in Germany. In Germany it's quite other regulation than it's in the UK. In UK you do have the right to use several lanes. In Germany you aren't allowed to use gravel roads and so on, as long as they aren't signed with special marks. In my opinion, it's not only in Germany, it's also around the world, especially here in the UK. Here are a lot of off-roading groups. They are not only into Range Rovers, they are also in every other off-road suitable vehicle. In Germany it's quite the same, but there are also groups only related to Range Rover or to Defender or special kinds of vehicles. With driving a Range Rover Defender and communicating in these groups and so on, I met a lot of people who are addicted in the same way to driving off-road or modifying or sitting together at a campfire, talking about our last trips and doing recommendation for next trips and so on. And also meet for driving in groups, especially through the Alps or a trip to Romania or wherever you want to go.